Hello and welcome to the Agri-Learn podcast. I'm your host, Raina Nalau, an aspiring full-time farmer, as well as the brand ambassador for the Women and Youth Loan Scheme at the Agricultural Bank of Namibia. Today, I'm joined by Mr. Philemon Nangonya, who is the Public Relations Officer at the Agricultural Bank of Namibia. Now, Mr. Nangonya will be talking to us about marketing and branding with regards to farming. Mr. Nangonya, thank you for joining us on the Agri-Learn podcast.
Thank you very much, Raina Nalau, for having me. It's a pleasure to be part of the platform.
Awesome. Now let's get right into it. What is your definition of marketing and branding?
Well, marketing and branding, those are two terms now. Maybe I would start by defining either of them. Marketing is really just a process of promoting and selling the products or services that an organization is offering. Of course, looking into the issue of market research and also just to make sure that at least the product is known out there. So it's really just promoting and selling your product. So on the other hand, branding will talk to the issue of creating the image or the value that you want to attach to your product or services. And in this case, in farming now, that will be in various products that farmers produce, and that is really just creating that whole value for the product.
Awesome. Now, why is it important for farmers to have knowledge on how to market their products?
Well, marketing knowledge will help the farmers in terms of producing good results for their sales in terms of their produce, because once you are promoting your product, then you are also likely to increase the demand at the end of the day, because once your product is known by the market, then that also means that the demand or the market will demand your product, which will then as well help your sales at the end of the day. So hence it's important that farmers are aware of marketing, because then it will help not just their product to be known, but also the issue of sales as their products will be bought by the market. So I think that's why it's very crucial that they are aware of that.
Awesome. Now let's move on to our next question. What are some of the fundamental principles of marketing and branding?
Yes, I think it's vital that we understand the principles. The first one, we'll look at consistency in terms of marketing. You don't just market once off, but then you should be doing it often as an ongoing activity, just to make sure that you are also creating your marketing footprint in the market. The other thing also is that I think it's also important that one considers repetition, just to make sure that you push your product in the market as much as you can. Don't feel you are saturating the market with your marketing strategies or your marketing activities, because the public or the market will always notice you. There is always those that do not know about your product, and hence it's important that you are being repetitive in your processes of marketing. So I think also one would look at the issue of just making sure that you understand your target audience. Where are they? How do you reach out to them? Create that niche market. How do you reach them? Where are they? Which product do they like? So it's crucial that you understand your market, because then that's the only time you are able to then be sure of who you are targeting. Now,
would you say that our local farmers are doing enough when it comes to marketing and branding their products?
Definitely. I would say that there is quite a lot of marketing and branding happening with our local farmers. We have seen a number of brands that are in the market now. And also it's only through marketing that we are able to know some of these products, and it's really the effort that these farmers are putting into marketing. So I would really say that yes, there is quite a high number of marketing and branding of the local produce.
Awesome. Now, in your own words, what is your definition of marketing strategy and how can our local farmers implement it?
Yeah, marketing strategy is really just a strategy of how you are reaching out to your target audience.
Okay.
You know, what prices are you going to have so that you are also sure that in the market you are not, you know, being so cheap, but you are also ensuring the sustainability of your business.
Exactly.
But also it talks to the issue of, you know, what are some of your weaknesses and opportunities that exist in the market.
Okay.
So it's a strategy which informs your marketing processes. So it's really just about how are you selling your product, you know, what are the prices of your product, you know, where are you going to sell your product, and also the question of how are you going then to promote to your target audience. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, how can our farmers create brand messages for their products or services?
I think the best is to create that unique selling proposition because that is answering the question as to why am I in the market? Why am I in business? So once you answer that question,
A very crucial question, actually.
exactly,
Yeah.
and it should also talk to, you know, how are you different from the rest? Because then that is the time then you bring in the issue of the niche market that you are creating also.
Exactly.
Because then once you answer that question, then you should be able to perform better. Yeah.
All right. Now, what are some of the platforms that our local farmers can use to market their products?
I think I would say that nowadays we have seen quite a good presence of farmers, especially on social media. So I think that's one of the platforms that I would say it's one of the platforms that farmers could use. Radio is also another platform. Of course, it's a conventional media platform that we have, but it has always proven to be a successful platform that you can reach out to various audience. So nowadays you may also think of, you know, newspapers because once they see your product, they can also then, you know, likely to come and buy your product. That's now in terms of the consumers. And so those are some of the few platforms that I could just relate to the farmers now.
All right. Now, for a farmer who is just starting, doesn't have a budget for marketing or branding, how then can they market, or what platforms can they use to market their products?
Well, one may consider social media, for instance. That's the cheapest platform that anyone can have. Through there, you can just take a picture of your produce, then you upload those or post those on your social media pages. So you should create those social media platforms. Then you will be able to just reach out. It doesn't require, you know, a cent to create a social media platform. All it requires is a smartphone, of which most of us do have.
All right. Now, what are some of the challenges that farmers face with regards to marketing and branding?
I think the main issue is really just probably about time management, the issue of just knowing at what point do I then market my products, because, you know, they are mostly concentrating just on farming and then producing, but then at the end of the day they are sitting with produce that do not have, you know, customers, because they have neglected that other element of the business, which is marketing. So it's always, I think, one of the challenges that most of the farmers are also faced with when it comes to marketing and branding. Now,
Mr. Nangonya, we are approaching the end of the episode, but before we let you go, what are your final remarks to our local farmers out there?
My final remarks to the farmers is just to say that they should always aspire to provide good customer service, because through that you are able to then retain and also attract more customers. Thank you very much.
All right, we've come to the end of our episode. Until next time, It's bye-bye.
Oh, Agribank. Oh, 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 Agribank. Yo, oh, oh, season bank.